You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Now it's officially time for Nautica de la Cruz. Nautica, please take it away.
Thank you so much. Well, today's Discover SoCal is a food edition. Normally I talk about museums and pop-ups and so forth, but I went to two amazing restaurants in Sherman Oaks, and I have to say I'm a foodie, so I want to talk about this restaurant that I've never been. I don't think it's been open for a year, but it's called Boulevard Steak in Sherman Oaks, and it stands out as a premier dining destination, combining an elegant atmosphere with a dedication to top-tier cuisine. It is co-owned by Dr. Dre and his business partner, and this restaurant has garnered significant attention, not only for its celebrity affiliation, but also its exceptional service and sophisticated ambiance. Nestled in the heart of Sherman Oaks, Boulevard Steak offers a luxurious dining experience that appeals to those seeking refined elegance. From its sleek modern decor to its intimate lighting, the space radiates. I mean, it's contemporary, it's timeless, it's beautiful. Dr. Dre's involvement in the restaurant adds an element of intrigue and prestige, of course, to the establishment. Known for his legendary music career and his many ventures, his partnership in Boulevard Steak is a testament to the restaurant's high standards. Dr. Dre, along with his business partner, has also been involved in other successful ventures, adding further credibility to the upscale spot. Now, the food, let's talk about the food at Boulevard Steak.
Please.
Is nothing short of spectacular, with a menu that reflects the skill and creativity of the culinary team. This restaurant specializes in expertly crafted steaks featuring prime cuts that are perfectly cooked to each dinner's specifications. So if you like it well, medium well, they got you. However, the menu goes far beyond steaks, offering an array of different dishes, including fresh seafood, gourmet sides, and delicious appetizers. Each plate is presented with an artistic touch, just a touch of elegance, and diners rave about the signature bone ribeye, lobster mac and cheese, which was really good, and truffle fries.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, the flavor and the detail of the food is amazing. The presentation is also amazing. And in addition to the exquisite food, Boulevard Steak's beverage program is equally impressive. They have crafted cocktails. They have an array of wines. And if you want to go, take your wife, go on a date, I say this is probably one of the most lavish place on Sherman Oaks Boulevard that you may want to go. But you might want to make a reservation. I can say that. The price range is a few dollar signs. But I tell you, you won't be disappointed. I'm not sure if you'll see Dr. Dre in the restaurant, but his partner is Christian Corbin, who you may see. And he's also the founder of Taisho and Casita on Ventura Boulevard, which are also great restaurants. And I will say this, you might want to dress up and make a reservation. Now, the second spot I went to is a little bit different, more casual. It's called Carnaval Restaurant. And it reminds me of, it's a Greek restaurant, and it reminds me of, when I go there, I feel like I'm in the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It just has delicious food. It's flavorful, a lot of Middle Eastern cuisine. And when I say the kebabs, whether it's chicken or whether it's beef, it's absolutely delicious. Now, that's a little easier on the price range. They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 8:30, and it's called Carnaval Restaurant at 4356 Woodman Avenue. Boulevard Steak, great place to take on a date, or if you just want to have a cocktail, located at 13817 Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks. For more information, log on to boulevardsteak.com.
Okay, I'm going to Boulevard Steak. I'm looking at the menu right now.
Yes.
It's not inexpensive.
Okay.
It's not inexpensive. I'm not going to lie to you. But I love me a really good steak.
Oh, Mo, let me tell you.
A really good steak.
The steak
Mark,
and the
you wanna
sides.
Go? You'll be my
Please,
date.
right now, please. You're killing me. And by the way, Nautica, let me tell you, if I saw somebody order a well-done steak at a place like that, I don't think I could restrain myself from violence. Well done? Absolutely.
Well,
Killing all the taste.
You know, some people like it well done, medium rare. I always say when I order my steak, just enough where it's not talking back to me.
Yeah, if you're going to order it well done, just put ketchup on it too while you're at it, okay?
Right.
But you're not supposed to put anything on it.
No. Oh, but you know what I did order on the side? You could also ask for chimichurri sauce on top of your steak. Oh my goodness. The flavors of that, the asparagus, the garlic mashed potatoes,
I got to
wine.
eat the lobster mac and cheese.
Oh yes.
I got to
Delicious.
ask, Mark, they have a 42-ounce double cut tomahawk steak.
Oh my!
42 ounce.
That's the one that tipped over the Flintstones car.
I'm not going to tell you how much it costs.
No. I want to hear it because those are pricey.
$198. That's just a steak.
Well, that rules me out.
No, I'm taking you. You'll be my date.
Oh, well, okay. I guess I'm required to put out for that kind of money.
Maybe not, Mark. But I tell you, Mark, you will not be disappointed. And when you walk inside, like you could tell that there's a Dr. Dre stamp in there because the way it's very elegant, but it has that hip hop flavor to it. You know, it's beautiful. Definitely go check it out. And also Carnaval restaurant is really, really good. I really do like all their food as well. But, you know, I'm giving you two options. I'm a foodie. I really am a foodie. So I love, you know, food truck festivals, and I love Smorgasburg downtown in downtown LA. I just like to try different kinds of food. And if it tastes even better when I'm not paying for it.
Oh, so you had an underwriter.
I did. Yes. I did. And you know what? He enjoyed it as well.
Oh, you're just giving up all the information. All right. Well, since you went there,
Yes.
beyond the meal, how was the date?
You know what? It was really good. It was really good. Very respectful. You know, checks a lot of great boxes. Good conversation. I'm more of the woman. You need to stimulate my mind.
That's what you say after going to Boulevard Steak. Sure.
Stimulate my mind.
But if you took you to to Starbucks, that wouldn't have been enough to stimulate your
Oh no,
mind.
I've had coffee dates. I prefer coffee dates. I start off with coffee dates. Then from coffee dates, we go to brunch. Then from brunch, we go to lunch. Then from lunch, we go to dinner.
I could say something very inappropriate, but I'm not.
You better not. Didn't we just talk about Garth Brooks and Diddy?
I said inappropriate, not like illegal.
Let's wrap that up.
Okay, composure.
Okay.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's now time for the Hidden Gem with Nautica de la Cruz.
Thank you, Mo. Today's hidden gem is Melanie Fisher, who was referred to me by Jamie Wilson from LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Melanie Fisher always knew she had a special connection with animals. From a young age, she would rescue stray cats, nurse injured birds back to health, and spend hours reading about different species. Now, as a vet nurse student, with only 1 year left until graduation, her passion has only deepened. Despite her demanding coursework, she volunteers at local animal shelters. Often the first to step in with an abandoned or abused animal needs care. Whether it's providing food, administering medication, or offering a comforting hand, Melanie finds joy in every act of compassion. It's not just about their health, it's about giving these creatures a second chance. It was during one of her volunteer shifts that Melanie stumbled across Hope for Paws. A colleague had mentioned the organization in passing, describing their incredible rescue videos. Curious, she searched for them that evening and found herself watching rescue after rescue after rescue, and tears in her eyes. The bravery and dedication of the team struck a chord so deep with her. She was just wanted to help more animals, and she saw that these animals were being rescued. The more she learned, the more inspired she became. For Melanie, this wasn't just another organization. It was a community of people who shared her unwavering belief in second chances, no matter how no matter how bleak the circumstances. Every time she sees a new Hope for Paws rescue video or update from the organization, it reignites her determination to finish school and continue making a difference. She feels like this is just the beginning for her broader mission to ensure that no animal is left behind, forgotten, or unloved. HopeForPaws.org was founded in 2008 by Eldad Hagar. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to rescuing homeless and abused animals, particularly those in extreme and often life-threatening situations. Eldad, with his wife Audrey, created the organization to provide not only immediate medical care to animals in need, but also to highlight their stories, raising awareness about the plight of abandoned animals. They quickly became known for their gripping rescue videos, which show the emotional journey of these animals from fear and abandonment to safety and recovery. The organization works closely with veterans and animal shelters to readapt rescued animals and find them, forever homes. Their unique approach often involves rescuing animals that often deemed too difficult or hopeless, offering them a lifeline where none existed before. Through their work, Home for Paws has inspired millions, and I mean millions, to get involved in animal rescue, fostering a great sense of responsibility and empathy towards all creatures. The organization has saved thousands of lives and continues to be a beacon of hope for animals in desperate need. They have quite an intense YouTube channel. They have 5 million plus YouTube followers, 1.4 billion views, and 40 rescue partners that they all work with. If you have time, you would like to volunteer or donate or even adopt a pet, please visit hopeforpaws.org. I went through a rabbit hole on their website, hopeforpaws.org, and I just wanted to adopt every single dog there. It's like, and I did say, Mo, I did see some of the videos, and I think after maybe a minute and a half to 2 when they were rescuing them, I had to shut my laptop, my computer, because I just couldn't stomach, and I couldn't stomach what these dogs were going through. I don't even want to describe it because it could be emotional, but I love animals. I love pets, and I get really angry when people mistreat their animals. It's kind of like, to me, mistreating a child, and I don't think that's fair at all. But I tell you, Melanie, I can't wait till you graduate and you become a vet nurse, and continue working with hopeforpaws.org when you can. And anyone that would like to volunteer, definitely put in some time.
I try to tell people, and if people don't know, I have 2 dogs. They are family members, Riley and Benson. They're both mini schnauzers. And I say this generally with pets, they will change your life. They will change your whole disposition. They will renew your faith in life. And, there's something very innocent and pure about pets. The unconditional love, the consistent attention. I know every time I go home, when I open the door, they're going to be right there, like I've been gone 100 years or 100 seconds. The reaction is always the same. It's like, where you been? So glad you're home. Come play with us. And it is life affirming. It's almost like, I had a real crappy day, but they don't care and they make it better.
Exactly. Also, for the cat lovers like Mark, there are cats to be adopted too, and they have tons of stories and videos about cats that they have rescued as well. So if you're a cat lover, a dog lover, it doesn't matter. But, if you have space in your home, if you feel like you could, foster or help out, whether it's monetary or fostering, I think, doing something like that out of your heart and kindness is beautiful.
That's always been my concern. It's like I always wanted to make sure that I had adequate room and space. I'm not trying to keep a dog or any pet for that matter just cooped up in a room in a house all day long. They can't go anywhere, And I wanted to have at least like some backyard or something for them, And I know it's not everyone can do that, but I'm always conscientious of that in that regard. So anyone who does adopt a pet, God bless you.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
You mentioned something, and I just want to say, because now it's starting to get dark, when you do let your dogs outside, please go and watch them, because you don't know who's climbing up on the fence. So just always keep an eye on, your dogs, even if they go quick to go, relieve themselves and come right back. But just always keep an eye on your pets.
Yeah, that is something I always do. And it's almost like, okay, I'm waiting for my wife. Are you home yet? Can you check on the dogs? I need to hurry up and get home, because I can't get home before 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. There's always that worry, because they're like kids and who never grow up.
Nope, not at all.
And when we come back, we will have the Rahner report. Mark, you teased it before. You're going to be talking about the new Joker sequel that I can't even pronounce because I don't speak French.
Well, it's not for everybody. The French. The Francais.
So I've been eagerly awaiting this, because this was not a movie I planned to see. And I usually rise and fall on whether you like something to inspire me or discourage me.
Well, I keep saying it's boring when we agree on things, but our tastes in movies are fairly similar. So I think I can swing you I can give you a push in the right direction on this.
Well, first, Nautica de la Cruz, thank you for that. Your insight early, coming in early and telling some of those stories to give people some perspective on what it's really like behind the scenes, dealing with some of these people, going to the actual parties that are being discussed. I just saw a promo and preview of a Diddy special that ABC 2020 is going to be airing next week.
Oh, boy.
It's one of the biggest stories in the country, which is non-political, until they start implicating political figures. But, it's a huge story, and everyone's going to be talking about it, but not everyone has any first-hand perspective of some of the players involved. So thank you for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Now on Later with Mo Kelly, Mark talks about movies and TV, pontificates about pop culture. Rahner Report with Mark Rahner.
KFI Later with Mo Kelly. Now it is time for the Rahner Report.
Okay, this might sound like a little bit of a shaggy dog story, so please just bear with me on this. A number of years ago, I went over to my friend Wayne's place. Wayne had cancer. He didn't have very long to live. I had just gotten a job writing a Green Hornet comic book, and so I wanted to watch the Green Hornet movie that I hadn't seen yet, the awful one with Seth Rogen. Neither of us had seen it. So I start the movie, and we get a little ways into it, and my poor friend Wayne, he's really not looking good at this point. After a while, Wayne says, "This is terrible. Can we watch something else?" And I say, "Well, can we just see a little bit more of it so I kind of get a better idea of what's going on here? I really need to know as much about Green Hornet as possible before I start my script." All right. We watch a little bit more of it, and finally, after maybe another 20 minutes or so, Wayne speaks up, and he says, "This is so bad. Can we watch something else, please?" And I'm like, "Well, let's just give it a little bit more of a chance. Maybe it gets better." Another half hour goes by. Wayne, it feels like he's getting sicker as time passes. He says, "This is so bad. Could we please watch something else?" And I'm like, "Listen, we might as well just power through to the end."
What kind of friend are you?
Let me get to the end of this. I tell Wayne, we're so close. Let's just see how it ends, okay? Of course, it's a terrible movie, and I apologize to poor Wayne. Wayne Carfeld, a lovely guy. I miss him. You would have loved the guy, a real sweetheart. He didn't last much longer after that. Wayne died soon afterward, and at his wake, I apologize to Wayne's wife for making him watch that movie. Those were 2 precious final hours of his life, and he was already suffering enough. But at least I never made Wayne watch Joker Folie à Deux. Ooh. Here's a little bit of the trailer.
2 years ago, the name Arthur Fleck hit Gotham like a hurricane.
The trial of the century.
They believe Arthur Fleck to be some kind of martyr. Well, he's not. There's a monster.
When I first saw Joker, when I saw you,
the whole world smiles with you.
For once in my life, I didn't feel so alone anymore.
For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. How about you, Arthur? Do you still think you're a star?
That's plenty of the trailer. You get the idea. That's the Joker in prison, actually kind of a mental asylum. Now, I'm going to admit up front, I hated the first Joker movie 5 years ago, mainly because I'd already seen Martin Scorsese's The King of Comedy, and I didn't need to watch an inferior remake of it with an unbearably self-indulgent Joker performance added. But a lot of other people did like it, and it became one of the most successful R-rated movies of all time. It made over $1 billion, and Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar, rather. So fair play on that. I'll be the turd in the punch bowl on this one, but I know there's a network of people like me who hated it like airplane turbulence. You kind of need to have seen the first one to fully get the sequel, folie à deux, because the sequel is about the Joker's trial for the people that he killed in the first movie, and how he meets a Joker groupie in the prison nut house music therapy class, and they fall in love, and then they have one musical number after another, mainly in dream sequences. That's it. That's the whole deal. And no, there's no Batman singing or otherwise. The groupie Joker falls in love with is Lee, aka Harley Quinn, played by Lady Gaga. You heard Brendan Gleeson in the trailer there. He plays a mean prison guard. They really don't like the Joker in prison, whose real name, you remember, is Arthur Fleck. How much do the guards not like Arthur Fleck? I honestly struggled with how much to tell you about this, not just because of spoilers, but also because gross. I'll just say they mercifully don't show absolutely everything. I can tell you Cesar Romero never had to worry about this sort of thing. Holy Shawshank, Batman. But not much really happens in the movie, which seems to be a delivery device just for a bunch of music numbers. I'm not saying there's nothing going on in the movie. Fleck's struggle with his identity and what he's done and who he wants to be are the major themes, not to mention what other people want and expect of him. And not just the guards, too. They always ask him if he's got a joke. Harley and all the people in the mob he's inspired one way or the other. But there's a difference between stuff going on and stuff happening. Not what you call a real busy plot here, especially if you're going into this after consuming a steady diet of comic book movies. I found it agonizing. But while it was agonizing, it's also well acted, great looking. The cheapskate in me was aghast at least one expensive looking set that was used for maybe a minute of screen time. Like, imagine hiring Ken Adam, who designed all those astonishing James Bond sets. He creates something, then you tell him, we're going to have Bond drive through this at 70 miles an hour once. And the movie has some interesting elements that kept me thinking for a while. I got to admit, folie à deux was such a brazen screw you, I'm doing what I want on the part of the filmmakers. I almost came out the other end liking it. I admire the attempt. The director, Todd Phillips, tried something ambitious. He does not care what you think. In fact, maybe he's even mad at you for liking the first Joker too much and not for the right reasons. Kind of like it reminded me of when Alan Moore was dismayed that people saw Rorschach as the real hero of Watchmen and not so much a dangerous psychopath who doesn't belong in society. Guilty, I admit it. And listen, even a movie that ranges from failure to laugh-out-loud disaster like this one can have trace elements of brilliance in it. But this Joker sequel, it was more agonizing than anything else to me. Do you want to watch Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga do dream karaoke for the better part of 2 hours and 18 minutes? Or is there maybe a root canal you could schedule instead? Perhaps you could arrange a mammogram at the same time. I don't even think a lot of people who did like the first Joker are going to be able to stand this one. I'll tell you, I couldn't wait to get out of the theater, and apparently I was far from the only one. Someone on Twitter said, I saw this afterward, never seen it happen before, but every musical set piece this film did, more and more people kept leaving the theater. Here's your pull quote, publicists. Make that Joker folie a deuce. It'll give you waves of embarrassment for the people involved, but at least it's really long. Okay, now we got a couple minutes left, and because it's October, I want to give you something good to watch. Also, a bonus. It's a scary movie. Last week, I recommended The Substance, and I'm glad to see that one snowballing as a cult film as more people discover it. Again, not for the squeamish. This week, I recommend the remake of Stephen King's Salem's Lot. It's brand new on HBO. I mean Max. Nothing's ever going to replace the original TV version of Salem's Lot with David Soul as a writer who goes back to his hometown to find it in the beginning of a vampire takeover. That's also on Max, as well as the sequel, Return to Salem's Lot. I love that. Love the book. The remake stars Louis Pullman as the writer. He's the son of Bill Pullman. He's no David Soul, but he grows on you. The crosses they hold glow when they're near vampires. And the last act has a pretty creative vampire set piece. And I like that character actor, Bill Camp. You'll know him when you see him. He's been in a ton of stuff for a long time. He plays a teacher who backs up the writer against the monsters. I think we all want a Bill Camp in our lives we can go and have a drink with at the local dive bar and have a conspiratorial talk about what's wrong with that one kid. Is he a victim of a supernatural monster or just one of Jim Jordan's wrestlers? Anyway, watch horror movies all Halloween this month. I'll have something else next week. These things build character. That's your Rahner report, Mo.
Jim Jordan. Don't think I didn't catch that.
I thought I just slipped that one in there.
Oh, I can't say that.
Yes.
You know I was going. I'm not going to go there. But I've heard more hatred for this movie in the past 24 hours than I can remember of any movie recently.
It's so funny. I don't generally read reviews or anything before I formulate my thoughts on a movie, but I've been having so much fun getting on Reddit and on Twitter. The one that I saw just before the show, it's got a picture of a guy. It's a before and after. He says, now watching Joker 2. I love the first one. I'm sure this will be just as good. And then the picture of him afterward with such a sullen face. And he says, goodness gracious, man, WTF.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about the trilogy from what I'm hearing.
Well, I don't know. I have to admit, I missed something during the last scene that I didn't realize I'd seen until I got home and read more about it. I wouldn't rule anything out, to be honest, but we can hope and pray that this is the last one.
I didn't have any desire to see it, and you just reaffirmed why I should not waste the money or the time to see it. I was not a fan of the first one, and it didn't ring true to anything called Joker, anything within the Batman universe. He was just a psychotic killer, seemingly indiscriminately, where I always perceived of Joker as a criminal mastermind who may have been about chaos, but still there was a plan. There was a degree of criminality which was coherent. I mean, he was a gangster on some level. This is just a crazy criminal.
Yeah, the first one was a crime movie. Like I said, it was a copy of a Scorsese crime movie about somebody obsessed with stardom. And this one really kind of turns on itself and crawls up its own tailpipe. It's much more psychological. Like I said, tons and tons of musical sequences that take place in the Joker's mind. And this is one of the few times I wanted to hang out outside the door to the auditorium and ask people what they thought when they were walking out. But their stony silence said everything I need to know. These were some grim people walking out of this movie.
Well, I'm glad that you took one for the team, and I don't have to take one.
Don't do it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And let me just right now open up the phones because we're going to get ready for Name That Movie Called Classic, our horror and psychological thriller edition. And no, Joker will not be one of the movies. I can guarantee you that. So if you want a chance to go to the Later with Mo Kelly pre-Halloween soiree, give us a call right now at 800-520-1KFI. 800-520-1534. If you want the chance to play Name That Movie Called Classic, and also come to the Later with Mo Kelly pre-Halloween soiree, which is October 30th at the Honda Studios here at iHeartMedia. Now, let's talk about horror. Got the top 10 cities that have the most horror movie film locations. And Mark, I definitely want your thoughts on this because you know something about this genre. If you were to, have you seen this list yet by chance?
No, I was really excited when you mentioned it.
Do you have any predictions of cities which must be on the list?
Well, LA, like we know Haddonfield from Halloween was here, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, coming in at number 10. Glendale, Arizona, not Glendale, California. And this is a list of the top 10 cities which have the most horror movie film locations.
I'm trying to think of what could have been filmed in Glendale. It would have been something like It Follows.
Maybe. You need that kind of desert look.
Huh. But they don't tell you?
No, it's just, well, I mean, it lists some of the movies, not all the movies.
Will you mention
No,
the names?
Saying it doesn't, it's only a 2-page story, and it doesn't say all of them. Like, when I can't tell you because it'll give away some of the cities.
All right.
Coming in at number 9. St. Louis, Missouri. Oklahoma looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo.
Isn't St. Louis where they filmed a lot of Escape from New York because it was such a mess? They didn't need to do anything with it?
Maybe, but it's not listed here. So, yeah, honestly don't know. Coming in at number 8. Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, Virginia. With 59 different locations.
That's baffling.
Yeah. Coming in at number 7. Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
Number 6. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Number 5. This doesn't surprise me. I thought this city would be higher. New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, well, yeah, it's got that's where all those Anne Rice vampire things were set, right?
Yeah. And other movies. Number 4. Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, they film everything there, including The Walking Dead, because they get so many tax breaks.
Yeah. Number 3. Washington, D.C.
Exorcist.
Yep. Number 2. Los Angeles, California.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm surprised we weren't number 1. But coming in at number 1. Jersey, New Jersey.
I have no idea
Jersey City.
What could have been filmed there.
Well, all I can say is it's not too specific.
Not counting The Sopranos, which is not technically horror.
It says it's the setting for Smile and The Toxic Avenger. Jersey City has seen 132.35 horror movies filmed per 100,000 population. Is that a good enough Jersey accent?
It is. I was going to say, yes, Jersey City does have a lot of abandoned homes. So it is kind of the scenic route for.
Oh, it's horror by default.
Yes. But you also have Newark, Hoboken, Jersey City, Bayonne, Bergen Line, and they're all, they have their areas.
Nautica, will you say Gabagool for us, please?
Gabagool?
There you go.
Oh, my goodness. KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
If you missed it, we got it.
KFI
and KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live.